All right, everyone. So can I gather your attention real quick? If you need a little bit more explanation on the visibility of the floor plan and what's showing what's showing in the second floor, that's coming up from the first floor. So I already mentioned that if you have elements that are shown in a light gray, which it's a little hard to tell on screen which ones are the light gray ones, but these are light gray. Okay, light gray, when you have what's called an underlay turned on, that's this section right here in properties. Light gray means that is an element that it's drawn and shows in the first floor, but it doesn't project up through the second floor cut. Does that make sense? So that is easily turned off by changing your base level range to none. Okay, so that turns off everything that exists in the first floor but doesn't extend and reach into the second floor. But that's not everything. What we have here are a couple of elements that are sort of sticking up that aren't really a part of the second floor, I guess you would say. So we need to kind of look at both our 3D view and our second floor to truly understand what's happening. So for instance, this wall right here is kind of a jogged wall, right? It's supposed to stop at the exterior wall on the second floor and then slip under the second floor down below. Okay, there are some tips and tricks to fix those. Unfortunately, it's really difficult to teach all of that sort of stuff. It just has to be on a case-by-case basis. But anyway, well, what you would do for that is edit the profile. But we're going to, let's edit the profile. So I'm going to click on Edit Profile. And what that actually does in the 3D view is it allows you to draw that jog. And you can use the Align tool to do it. It's pretty nifty. So I'm going to do Align. I'm going to draw it down from there. And I'm going to draw one over to there. Okay. So I can use this little Trim Extend to Corner to clean that up and make it look like it's jogging. But it's not going to be perfect until I use the Align tool. And I can align to that face, that line. And then I can get underneath it and align to the bottom of it, that. So when I hit check, that's going to be a perfect jog down. Okay, and that is, oh, I know what I want to do. Edit that profile. This actually needs to go down 1 foot because I have floor structure. Why is that still showing? Level 2. That's weird. Huh. I don't know why that's still showing. Anyway, so we have a few other elements here that we need to check into. So these elements are first floor elements as well. Well, that one is the second floor. That is the roof. This is a first floor element. So these two elements need to extend only to the first floor. Okay, so I can switch the top constraint to level 2 and then say -1 foot, and that's going to drop back. I don't know why that one is still showing. Well, oh, it won't show when we have a floor on there. Okay, so then this is going to do the same thing, all of these interior walls. Switch the top constraint to level 2 and then say -1 foot. Okay, now I want to clarify what's happening with these 3 little legs there. Basically, these legs are going to show because even though the wall is like jogging, you can see it more clearly here, right? Even though that wall is actually jogging and dipping down, it's going to show because a part of that wall, the higher part over here, exists in the second floor. So it shows the whole element regardless. But what we're going to have is a second floor plate, which we'll model in a second. I'm going to just model a quick one in. So I'm going to say architecture, floor. And let me just put a, you guys don't have to do this right now. I'm going to show you in a video. But once we put a floor in there, that will go away. See? Does that make sense? So we're going to model that floor in a later video, but yeah. All right, so those are kind of the key elements. You have the underlay settings, what it's showing from an underlay of another floor. and then you also have the extents of elements kind of protruding into your view. So does that make it a little more clear? Okay. And it's a balancing game. So like there are always going to be things that you have to sort of finagle. You know, it just happens. Like with Revit models, you develop something, you get it mostly right, you have to adjust it, you trim things, they break sometimes throughout the process. You'll see things break throughout the semester. Yeah.